Some very interesting numbers thrown out there. When Rajasthan batted first, there was 79 at the end of 10 overs. Now, interestingly, Gujarat in their run chase were also 79 at the end of 9 overs. A very eventful 10th over. So 18 runs come off the bowling of Obaid McCoy. So it meant you just reverse the digits. 79 becomes 97. That's where they are at the 10 over mark. How much of a difference has that made in terms of the wickets lost, runs scored? Here on Cricbuzz Comm Box, I'm in the company of Shaun Pollock. Shaun, never mind the numbers. Just go by the reaction of Obaid McCoy. Have you had a situation yourself when you've bowled an absolute awful delivery and haven't looked at the outcome of it in your career?
No, I was an optimist. Even if they middled it, I would still look around just in case something happened and it managed to fall short of the boundary. So, yeah, that was a bit bizarre, in all honesty. But as was the over from him. I mean, what is it, a 10 or 11 ball over? It's been thoroughly bizarre just before our comm box. But, yeah, I think situation of the game, I mean, Gujarat's strength has been this next 4 batters to come. When I said to come, at the crease now, Pandya and Miller, Tewatia, and then Rashid Khan. So there's no doubt that it's still game on for them because they have got the strength. Once they get into those bowlers, then you feel like they're in a little bit of trouble. But these 4 have probably been the form players for them this season, so they won't be giving up hope. It's still an ask. And I think the challenge for Rajasthan will be McCoy's other 3 overs. I'm sure he'll bowl 1 or maybe 2 at the end, but they might have to turn to Parag or Jaswal just to get an over in, because that 1 over for 18, that can happen. I mean, people can disappear and you can be put to the sword, but it's the manner in which it's unfolded, the deliveries that were bowled, there wasn't much control. So hopefully for them, he'll settle down. Otherwise, there might be a call in all pockets for another over or 2 from someone else.
I think that's been the key, because if you have a look at the last few games that they've played, the one thing that Rajasthan have managed to get is 5 or 4 overs from each of their 5 bowlers, and it looked settled. Even when Obaid McCoy was not playing, Kuldeep Sen was there, 4 overs from him, everything was settled. Now they've come to not a do or die, but a situation where it's a qualifier game, and they are really looking to get something out of that, because McCoy, who is the key in the back 10, has gone for 18. So who would you go for? Would you go for a Riyan Parag who hasn't bowled much? Would you try a Yashasvi Jaiswal?
Well, I think that's the only options. You're not going to get anything from Hetmai or Butler. Samson's behind the stump. So I think Parikal, I don't know if I've seen him bowl an over or complete an over for someone somewhere along the lines. But yeah, that's the challenge when you're going with all 5. I mean, the responsibility to take on and finish your 4 overs has been on point. I think they've been very good at doing that. But as a captain and as a coach and part of management, you always just wanted that luxury of someone else just to give you like a genuine over, one that you can almost depend on at times. If you've got 2 left-handers, maybe an off-spinner just to bowl you 1 over. But I don't think it's going to be the case. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. It's also always dangerous to leave one of your bowlers with 4 of the last 11 overs to bowl, just in case it is an off day, and then you've got nowhere to go.
Alternately, does Sanju Samson go up to Obaid McCoy and say, look, that terrible delivery got you a wicket. You've had a bad over, but I'm going to give you 3 more.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he wants to do. I think the litmus test will be the next one. When he goes, I would get him back into action. I said, listen, forget about it. Just relax, deep breaths. We've picked up an over. It hasn't been too much damage that's been done besides the 18 runs. Come on, you're better than this, and you know you are. Back yourself and come in and bowl me another one. So it'll be interesting to see how quickly he gets back in. 86
needed a 55 at this stage. Gujarat just seem to thrive in these situations, as you said, but they're up against a side who have defended, particularly in the last 7 or 8 overs, be it a Chahal coming in with his last couple of overs, Ashwin making another impression. Bolt, who was the pick of the bowlers right at the top, he's got just 1 over left without swing.
Yeah, I think he's got a role he can play. He knows what he can or can't do. He's got some options, so I wouldn't be too concerned about that. I mean, you might have a good day, might have a bad day. I think the 4 overs left from the spinners is going to be key. How they used, someone like a David Miller can be maybe susceptible to a bit of spin in his first few deliveries that he faces. But I think those 2 from Ashwin and Chahal, I think that's almost where the game will be dictated terms, because that's where Rajasthan will be hoping to make impact and their spinners to pick up some wickets.
What we do know for
They've
sure
been the most
is,
successful so far as a combination, but none tonight. That's why they'll be hoping for one.
well, it's been across the board. Yuzvendra Chahal, Ravichandran Ashwin, Rashid Khan, collectively between them have not yet made an impression in this game. Something needs to change if the men in pink are to come back. Otherwise, it's going to be yet another Gujarat romp home. Whether they do it off the last ball or finish it earlier, they certainly look favourites at the moment. We'll come back at the end to assess the game. For now, that's all we've had on Cricbuzz Comm Box.